Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph Giarraputo, the founder and editorial director at Global Finance, speaking to you from New York. I will be joined today by Achraf Abourida, the head of product management at Surecomp, who speaks from Amsterdam. Global Finance recently named Surecomp the world's best trade finance software provider for the second year in a row. Achraf, based on your over 2 decades of banking experience, what are the most significant challenges banks face in providing trade and supply chain finance solutions?
I think there are multiple elements that banks are facing from a challenge perspective when it comes to trade products. Let me start with the first one, which is basically the technological one. Many banks have been building up their trade franchise from different core banking applications that they use for both the traditional trade products and then the working capital products. And what they see is that the developments in technology are accelerating over the years, and that the core banking application they have get outdated and do not fit for purpose, actually, because their lack of connectivity or lack of ability to consume all the new technologies that are out there, like the cloud movement we saw, like the APIfication, like things we saw on the blockchain side, or now with the generative AI. So they are all looking to how to consolidate and to create a layer over that old technology to be able to leverage all these new capabilities that are in the market. So a lot of banks that I know have been, including ING, where I have been heading the trade products, are looking into replatforming, as they call it, but also create a new front end strategy to adapt to the new, let's say, evolution of the product. So that's the technological challenge that many have. They need to renew, or let's say refurbish their stacks. But on the other side, in all fairness, trade in many banks does not enjoy, let's say, the best in class product when it comes to returns. And obviously, at a bank, it's all about capital and the returns that you have on those capital that you deploy. So the treatment of trade products, and that's why Basel IV, which is coming up, is extremely important, on how the credit conversion factors that are applied benefit the trade products to have that remunerative, appealing remuneration to them, to be able for a bank to say, okay, we are investing in these products because they deliver us proper returns on equity. And that's where a lot of, let's say, fighting takes place. A lot of banks are very lending focused, and trade products in general are positioned under transactional banking as flow products. So they expect them to generate even higher returns. But getting the right investments in, being part of a bank in a trade space to do, let's say, your replatformication or enhance efficiency to reduce costs, etc. That's always one of the struggles for trade, let's say, departments within a bank. So I think capital is one and technology is the other, but they go basically hand in hand. Maybe if you allow me just one more challenge that I see, that's more on, let's say, serving the clients. So banks, when they offer working capital solutions to their clients, um, especially supply chain finance, whereby you want to support the supplier base of a big, large corporate being the buyer, is that they have trouble to get to that low tier level of suppliers. Um, and the reason for that is very much regulations. So every single supplier you onboard to a supply chain finance program, the bank needs to conduct their KYC process, which means they have to, well, do a lot of checks to see if that supplier is not on a sanctions list, etc., etc. And the costs of onboarding a supplier that does 1 million in turnover with this buyer, or a supplier that does only 5K, the effort for the bank is the same, which means it doesn't make sense from an economic perspective to onboard that long tail of smaller suppliers. So that's another challenge, actually, because the purpose of that whole setup of supply chain finance is to support those, let's say, long tier suppliers to join the program, to provide them with liquidity soon in the process. So regulations, technology, and anything that has to do with capital. I would say these are the three main challenges for banks when it comes to trade and working capital solutions.
What are the most effective technologies to address these challenges and help banks more effectively manage working capital?
everyone within the banking industry have quite a clear view on what needs to happen from a technology perspective. The sheer amount of requirements for trade and the number of parties in a trade ecosystem, it's not only the buyer and the supplier. You have the logistics companies, you have the insurance companies, you have the compliance companies that supporting the compliance, you have the doc checking, you have so many parties, and we always talk about getting that ecosystem to join forces, get on one platform, and enhance interoperability between different parties to make that whole flow as efficient as possible. So a lot of banks has joined forces in consortia to develop, let's say, platform that collaborative platform to get parties together. I can refer to Contour, to Marco Polo on the open account, to WeTrade, etc. But you do see them fail time and time again. The exact reason varies. So sometimes it's because they didn't bring to market quick enough a solution that solves an actual problem, or they had issues with the adoption of that platform. So just to refer to what we are doing at Surecomp, we have basically core banking applications that support the banks. We have also applications that serves the corporates. And at a certain moment, we said, let's bring those two worlds together to create a collaborative portal. That's how it started 2, 3 years ago, in which a corporate can enter, he can ask for a guarantee, he can collaborate in a chat function, communicate with the bank. And then gradually we came to the conclusion we need to open up. So it's an open environment now where we have all the experts from different domains. Surecomp is a trade application expert. We do not want to enter into the compliance space or in the insurance space, etc. So we invited parties, which we call FinTech Hub. So there's a hub where all these parties connect to our application called Revo, and allow all the parties, banks and corporates that are on the platform to leverage from those platforms their expertise. So technology wise, the answer is an open collaborative platform where all the parties in the ecosystem can come together, that they can collaborate on a transactional level, but that they can also ensure that they leverage the latest technology, because the platform is a SaaS solution, which means every incremental development that happens is well is to the benefit of those clients immediately after releasing it. So our shout out even to our competitors is, please join this collaborative platform thinking, in the benefit of, let's say, the trade ecosystem, to leverage all the technologies that are out there basically. So that's the solution according to us.
How is cloud computing, like SaaS, a key component in adopting new solutions?
I think, to be very honest, that it's a crucial element of, let's say, getting banks to no longer have to worry about the whole setup of, let's say, on-prem solutions that need to be maintained and get updated every time, maintaining people also on their end. So they are consuming a service that, again, because of the standardized nature of it, gets enhanced by the service provider, in this case Surecomp, developing that platform on and on in sophistication, improvement, etc., allowing them to benefit from it right away. So it's just making banks' lives easier. We understand it's not the solution for every bank. A lot of banks in some geographies just need to have on-prem solutions. So on-prem and customized solutions will remain a part of our business for a long time to come. But everything around technology is moving into that, well, trade finance as a service, we call it TFAS, because it's simply the easiest and the most efficient and low cost way of running a trade application for a bank in that sense.
Ashraf, in your new role, how are you innovating Surecomp's solution portfolio to meet banks' needs more effectively?
I always had this dream when I was in banking to create this one trade platform. Um, every single provider or vendor that I needed to onboard within the bank took me like a trip to hell and back, if I may use these words. So having in the end like 16, 17 different providers for different parts of your solution becomes such a nightmare that if you can have one platform covering everything, that would make life so much easier. So the innovation that I'm here to bring within Surecomp is basically work on the legacy, or let's call it the heritage of Surecomp being a strong expert in traditional trades, to enhance that with working capital solutions products that are more sophisticated now than they have been like 3 4 years ago, to bring all the trade products in one solution to our customers, and not saying, okay, we don't cover this or that part, but tell them we also have partners that can cover this and this and this part. So if the bank looks at the full product journey or client journey, that we have an answer for each, well, problem, I don't want to call it problem, but every step of the process, that they can utilize our platform to cover that front to back. The biggest innovations that I'm expecting coming quarters to come is on generative AI, which means reducing manual interference to the lowest possible level. Meaning, if a document guaranteed text checking needs to happen, if we run that through an AI engine, that it will immediately show you discrepancies. Or if somebody sends you an email or whatever type of formats to request a guarantee, that through putting it through an AI engine, immediately that guarantee request is entered into your back office, and you don't need people to do that. People only need to be there for exception handling and managing complex structures in products. So the generative AI is definitely one that I need to mention when it comes to innovation.
Ashraf, that was all very interesting. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for our audience for being here too.
Thank you very much for having me, Joseph.